In the winter of 1899, Kansas froze under a sky that seemed to hate the earth. Temperatures sank to -40, and snow buried homes like graves. But in Hayes, a small railroad town, something darker than the cold was stirring. Behind the locked doors of the parkerbrothers warehouse, a secret was burning, literally. When spring thawed the ice, investigators found county death records that didn't add up. Over 300 families supposedly perished, but only 47 bodies lay in the cemetery. The rest, gone, vanished. What Thomas and Samuel Parker fed into their roaring furnaces wasn't just wood or coal. It was evidence of a crime so calculated, so cold, it rewrote the rules of human depravity. This isn't just a story. It's a descent into forbidden truths, the kind that make you question everything you've been told about survival, trust, and the masks men wear. I'm about to pull you into a rabbit hole of hidden agendas and suppressed history. If you're ready to face what's been buried for over a century, stay with me. These archives, found rotting in a courthouse basement, reveal a system of control and manipulation so perfect it could only thrive in chaos. Hayes, Kansas, was a proud town of 8,000, built on Christian values and frontier grit. Main Street hummed with life, churches, stores, dreams of a better future. But 30 miles west lay the empty lands, where isolated homesteaders clung to survival in sod shanties. The Parker brothers, Thomas and Samuel, arrived in 1894, slick entrepreneurs with a warehouse and a promise to clean up the messes death left behind. They handled estates, disposed of bodies, sold belongings, saviors in a harsh world. But their piercing eyes and false smiles hid something else. When the first snows fell early that November, no one saw the trap being set. The brothers' furnace burned day and night, and a sickly sweet SM. You're standing on the edge of a truth most men never face. In Hayes, 1899, the Parker brothers weren't just cleaning up after death. They were orchestrating it. As snow sealed the town from the world, their warehouse became a fortress of deception. Thomas, with his cold blue eyes, and Samuel, with his empty smile, had spent years perfecting a system to exploit the vulnerable. They weren't random opportunists. They were architects of a hidden empire built on trust and betrayal. When the cold hit -30 overnight on November 18th, the town's lifelines snapped. Railroads stopped. Supplies vanished. Families in the empty lands, miles from help, were trapped in their shanties, praying for survival. The brothers, though, were ready. Their sled, reinforced for deep snow, could reach places no one else could. Their warehouse brimmed with coal, food, clothing, resources that made them gods in a dying town. They offered aid to desperate families, but every act of charity was a step in a darker dance. They targeted the isolated, the wealthy, the unconnected, families with no one to notice their absence. The Kowalskis, 12 miles north, welcomed the brothers on December 14th. 3 days later, their homestead was empty. The brothers said they'd relocated them to Missouri. No one checked. No one could. The furnace roared, and that sickly sweet smell grew stronger. Dr. Edmund Hartwell, the town's doctor, tried to investigate, but was turned away with excuses about contaminated materials. He wrote in his journal, "The odor is unlike anything in my practice." He didn't know he was smelling the ashes of entire lives. The brothers' genius was their cover: estate services. Who questions men handling death in a deadly winter? They forged documents, manipulated land titles, and sold heirlooms with chilling efficiency. Every move was calculated, every smile rehearsed. They knew the the loopholes, the weak spots in human trust. By Christmas, Hayes was a ghost town. 8,000 souls dwindled to 2,000. The brothers thrived, their furnace a black heart pumping smoke into the sky. You're not just hearing a story. you're uncovering a blueprint for control. This is what happens when power hides behind compassion. Stay with me. The deeper we go, the darker it gets. You're starting to see it, aren't you? The truth isn't just dark, it's a weapon. The Parker brothers didn't stumble into their crimes. They engineered them with the precision of a machine. By December's end, Hayes was a shadow of itself, and the brothers were its puppet masters. They'd learned to exploit not just the cold, but the psychology of a desperate town. Families came to them, begging for food, fuel, survival. The brothers gave it, always with a price. They'd visit homesteads, offering supplies, but each gift tightened their grip. They studied their targets, who had land, who had gold, who had no one to miss them. Then, they'd strike. A family would vanish, their deaths blamed on the cold. Their belongings appeared in the warehouse, sold as salvage. The furnace burned hotter, hiding the truth in ash. Janet Thornfield, a widow who ran a boarding house, saw through their mask. She kept notes, tracking the families they claimed had died. Her records, found decades later, show 43 families, healthy, supplied, gone in 2 months. The Brennans, cheerful on December 20th, were frozen by Christmas. No bodies, no funerals, just the brothers' word. Janet's suspicions grew when she saw the Hendricks family in the warehouse, pleading, crying, as Thomas spoke in hushed tones. She heard the furnace door slam, heavy objects moved, and then silence. The next day, the Hendricks were dead, their homestead sold. The brothers' system was flawless: isolate, manipulate, eliminate. They forged land deeds, bribed officials, and used their reputation as godly men to deflect suspicion. Even their workers, paid well and sworn to silence, didn't question the furnace's constant glow. The brothers justified it to themselves. Thomas called it mercy work, sparing families from starvation. Samuel's diary claimed they were saving the town by clearing the weak. This wasn't just Greekish, Ed. It was a twisted ideology, a belief they were above morality, chosen to decide who lived. The winter gave them cover, but their minds gave them permission. This is the truth they don't teach you. Power doesn't just corrupt. It creates gods who think they're untouchable. You're deeper now, seeing the gears of control. Are you ready to go further? This knowledge burns, but it's yours now. Don't turn back. You're in deep now, and there's no unseeing this. The Parker brothers weren't just killing. They were rewriting reality. By January 1900, Hayes was a husk, its population slashed to a fraction. The brothers' furnace never stopped, its smoke a constant reminder of their power. They'd perfected a machine of death, fueled by trust and hidden by chaos. They didn't just take lives, they erased them. Families like the Williamsons, the Krauses gone, their homes sold, their stories rewritten. The brothers knew every weakness: the law, the church, the human heart. They bribed county officials, ensuring no questions were asked. They leaned on their Christian image, preaching charity, while their sled carried doom to distant homesteads. Dr. Hartwell's journal, found in 1978, reveals he was never called to examine a single body. The brothers claimed the cold had mangled them beyond recognition, and he believed them, because who wouldn't? The smell from their warehouse, that sickly sweet horror, was dismissed as disease, but it was the scent of annihilation. The brothers' letters and diaries, uncovered decades later, show a chilling belief. They saw themselves as shepherds, culling the weak to save the strong. They wrote of easing suffering, of sparing the unworthy. This wasn't just crime. It was a philosophy, a dark religion born in the snow. They targeted the isolated, luring them to the warehouse with promises of aid. Once inside, families faced the furnace. No witnesses, no evidence, just ash. Their system was so perfect, it hid in plain sight. Who suspects the men who bury the dead? Who questions the furnace burning trash? Right now, I need you to do something. Comment below with the phrase, "Uncover the ash," twice. It's a signal to yourself, to the algorithm, to the world, that you're awake, that you see through the lies. This isn't just a story, it's a transformation. You are not the man you were 10 minutes ago. The brothers' power came from secrecy, from trust, from a town too broken to fight back. But you're not broken. You're here, seeing what they hid. This knowledge is dangerous. It changes you. It makes you question every savior who offers help. The truth is a blade, and you're holding it now. Keep going. The abyss is calling. You've crossed a line now. This knowledge marks you, sets you apart. The Parker brothers didn't just kill. They built a shadow empire on the bones of trust. By mid-January 1900, Hayes was a graveyard of secrets. The brothers operated with impunity. Their furnace, a god that devoured evidence and suspicion alike. They'd mastered the art of control, not just over bodies, but over minds. They knew how to make a town believe its own destruction was natural. They'd visit homesteads, offering warmth, food, hope, then vanish entire families. Their sled tracks were the only proof, erased by the next storm. They forged documents with surgical precision, transferring land to phantom buyers who never existed. Valuables, watches, jewelry, deeds, flowed into their warehouse, sold to distant markets. No one questioned the salvage. The brothers' diaries reveal a chilling pride. Thomas wrote of cleansing the frontier, Samuel of building a legacy. They saw themselves as architects of a new order, above the law, above morality. The town's silence was their ally. Fear, cold, and desperation kept people from asking too much. Even Janet Thornfield, who saw the Hendricks family vanish into the furnace, was dismissed as grief-stricken, her mind tricked. But she wasn't wrong. Her notes, found in 1962, list dozens of families, healthy, prepared, who died under the brothers' care. The math didn't lie. Over 60 families in 2 months, erased. The brothers' workers paid in gold and silence, never spoke. The county clerk, likely bribed, rubber-stamped their forgeries. The church praised their charity. This wasn't just a crime. It was a system, a machine of manipulation that thrived because no one dared look too closely. You're seeing it now, the blueprint of control. It's not just history, it's a warning. Power like this doesn't die. It evolves. It hides in institutions, in saviors, in system, as you're told to trust. The brothers' furnace is gone, but its smoke lingers in every promise too good to be true. You're awake now, aren't you? You feel the weight of this truth. It's not just about Hayes. It's about the world you live in, the lies you've been fed, the masks you've trusted. Don't stop here. The deeper you go, the more you'll see. The truth is a fire, and it's burning through you now. You're not the same man who started this video. You can't be. The Parker brothers' story isn't just a crime. It's a mirror, showing you how far power can twist trust. By February 1900, Hayes was a ghost town, its heart burned out. The brothers' furnace was a god, consuming lives, evidence, and truth. They'd erased over 300 families, their wealth funneled into the brothers' hands. Land titles, gold, heirlooms, gone, sold, or burned. Their system was untouchable, cloaked in the chaos of the coldest winter Kansas ever saw. They exploited every crack in the human spirit: desperation, faith, isolation. They'd lure families to their warehouse with promises of safety, only to feed them to the flames. The brothers' diaries, found decades later, reveal a chilling arrogance. Thomas wrote, "We are the hand of fate, shaping a stronger frontier." Samuel called their victims sacrifices for progress. They believed they were gods, deciding who deserved to live. The town's silence was their shield. No one questioned the men who handled death, who preached charity while burning bodies. Janet Thornfield's notes, buried until 1962, were the only crack in their armor. She listed families, dates, discrepancies, proof of a slaughter hidden as tragedy. But even she was silenced, dismissed as mad. The brothers' workers, bound by fear or gold, stayed quiet. The county clerk, complicit or bribed, signed their forgeries. The church called them saints. This is the truth they don't want you to know. Systems of control thrive when you trust blindly. The brothers weren't monsters in the shadows. They were men you'd shake hands with, men you'd thank. Their power came from your belief in their goodness. Look around you today. The same game plays out. Different faces, same lies. Institutions, leaders, promises that feel too perfect. They're the furnaces of now, burning truth while you applaud. You're awake, but you're not safe. This knowledge makes you a threat. You see the blueprint, manipulate trust, control the story, erase the evidence. The brothers' fire died, but its embers are everywhere. You're holding a dangerous truth now, one that changes how you see the world. It's not just history, it's a warning carved in ash. Stay sharp. The next revelation will cut deeper. You're almost at the bottom. You've reached the bottom of the rabbit hole. The truth is yours now, and it's heavy. The Parker brothers didn't just destroy lives. They exposed a blueprint for control that never died. By spring 1900, Hayes was a husk, its people gone or silenced, its wealth in the brothers' hands. Their furnace had burned away over 300 families, leaving only 47 graves. The rest? Ash scattered on the prairie winds. Thomas and Samuel walked free, their crimes buried by forged records and a town too broken to care. They sold their warehouse, moved east, and vanished into history's shadows. Their legacy, a whisper in dusty archives. Janet Thornfield's notes, found in 1962, were ignored, labeled folklore by a world that doesn't want to face its own darkness. But you see it now. The brothers' system wasn't unique. It was a masterclass in manipulation. They used trust as a weapon, charity as a mask, and chaos as a shield. They knew the human mind craves saviors, clings to order, even when it's a lie. Their furnace was more than fire. It was a symbol of how truth can be burned away when no one dares to look. This isn't just a story from 1899. It's a warning for today. Look at the world around you. The institutions, the leaders, the systems promising safety. They're built on the same blueprint. They thrive when you trust without question, when you let fear blind you. The Parker brothers' fire still burns in every promise that hides a price, every hand extended with strings attached. You're not the man you were when you started this. You've seen the gears of control, the lies that wear kind faces. This knowledge is power, but it's also a burden. You can't unsee the ash. You can't ignore the smoke in the systems you once trusted. So what will you do with this truth? Will you let it change you, sharpen you, make you question every savior? Comment "Uncover the Ash" twice below. Let it be your vow to stay awake. Share this video. Spread the warning. The world doesn't want you to know this, but you do. You're dangerous now, a man who sees. Don't let the fire die. Keep it burning.